Hello, welcome back to the OSP Sports channel. I didn't want to do a part 2 because I intended to do it all in one video, as you saw in the last one. I by mistake accidentally clicked out, which stopped the entire recording, so you absolutely hate to see it. But I pretty much, what I left off of Bayern was what I wanted to say. Real Madrid, PSG, banger of a game, end-to-end stuff in the sense of pure attack and pure defense. Madrid were defending for their lives, and I'm not gonna lie, I expected a lot more from PSG. Messi didn't seem to have a good game. He missed a penalty. Neymar, when he came in, did a little something, but nothing extraordinary. Real Madrid looked like a very good, compact team. Again, PSG, if there was one thing that I could describe PSG as a club, would be underwhelming. With all the stuff that they have, all the quality, all the pass that they have, they just seem to somehow always underwhelm us in their performances. There hasn't been too many where you can look at PSG and go wow, what a performance, what a staple, or that we've seen 100% of their quality. At most, we've seen 80 to maybe 85. And today PSG looked probably 60. They did not look that good, although they were attacking. Maybe you could see Real Madrid were just that good, but if you compare player for player, I don't think maybe 2 or 3 players from Real Madrid's team gets into that PSG squad. So you can just see the absolute difference. Courtois looked good, and then obviously at the end they just crumbled when Mbappe got that goal. Really good goal. He makes a player, puts her into the corner. Mbappe was quiet that game, but obviously we know with a goal it changes everything. As much as Real Madrid, maybe because they were away from home, I didn't see any offensive threat from them. I don't think that's going to change even when they're in Madrid. I would assume that PSG would close this game off, but with Pochettino, you never know. If it was to predict, I would probably say PSG get through. I would assume maybe a 0-0, but I think Real Madrid are going to go for it, as they do need that goal, which is what they didn't want to do, because offensively, Benzema looks good, but again, this game, offensively, they had absolutely nothing going for them. Maybe it was the game plan, but if you're going to rely to attack with PSG, with that midfield, I don't see it going. If Real Madrid go to maybe a 0-0 or to defend, which I don't think they will, I see that happening. But if Real Madrid go for that goal and they go attack, I see many PSG counterattacks, so I'm going to probably go for a 2-1 result for PSG at Madrid. City versus Sporting looked awful. There's nothing to say. They won 5-0 away from home. Bernardo Silva looked class. He looked probably one of his best performances ever. He looked absolutely class. Sterling did his bit. Everyone in City played well. There's nothing to say. Sporting, absolutely dreadful. Losing 5-0 away, at home. Not even away, at home. The City might as well put the U16s and they're still gonna beat them. So, an interesting Chelsea and Lille. Again, Chelsea looked the more dominant team. They attacked. Lille have dropped off massively since their Ligue 1 title. My guy Jonathan David barely had any opportunities. Probably the highlight of their season this year was beating PSG a couple of months ago. But you can see from the stats, it really looked more like Chelsea's game. 15 shots, but that doesn't say anything. Most of them were long shots or relatively easy shots. But in the sense that passes and stuff and possession, it was even. But every opportunity, or the more opportunities Chelsea had, more they went into the game, they looked a lot stronger, and they were going to be the team to score. Not little. They were at home. However, I think a 2-0 is a good cushion, because the most I could have seen was probably have a 1-0 win at home, because of Jonathan David's talent, because of their midfield, and as well as because of Chelsea's pretty much liabilities, in the sense that they're so inconsistent. This was probably one of their best games in the last 4 to 5 games, and their last game they barely scraped a win against Crystal Palace, and Lille was heads and shoulders above them. So that just shows that you never know what else you're going to get, especially with their defense. If you look at their defense, probably only Rudiger is one that stands out right now as reliable. Thiago Silva is obviously up there in age, and Christensen, I see very inconsistent. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming I'm going to go for probably a 1-1, a little. That would be my prediction. I think, I would say, because even though Chelsea didn't put like Jorginho and all that, I don't think they even needed them. Like, this wasn't Chelsea's best, and they still managed to win. I also do want to mention that Chelsea do look better with having Havertz as a false nine instead of Lukaku as a striker for now. So again, another like big striker that's gonna pretty much not ruin their careers, but like drop off massively, as we've seen with Timo Werner and now Lukaku. And Chelsea's got a lot. Like it extends almost back to Falcao. You see, Falcao has had his issues at Chelsea as a striker. Fernando Torres has had his issues as a striker. I'm forgetting, but Chelsea hasn't had a good run with strikers like since Drogba, and I could be forgetting someone, but I want to say Chelsea and their strikers haven't looked too good since Drogba. I could be missing some key figures, but I can't remember anyone that comes. Tammy Abraham looked decent, but nothing like that. Juventus and Villarreal is a very interesting game because on paper you would say Juventus, but Emirates, Villarreal in tournament competitions, they look good, they look decent. They obviously won the Europa League last season. They're doing pretty well in the Liga. I think they're top 4. No, I'm sorry, they're top 5, top 6, probably. Around that. They have a very compact and consistent team with Lo Celso there, Moreno, Alfonso. These are good players. These are very, you wouldn't say outstanding. One of the, you would call them Champions League winners, but they would be a team if they weren't playing against Juventus that should go into the quarterfinals. If I was to predict, I would want to say 2-1 when they go back to Turin, because I feel like Juventus can't get any goal from here. They drew in their derby last week. They didn't look too good today. I feel like something's going to have to kick in into gear. And I don't see Villarreal reprising from home. I feel like they needed more of a 1-0, or at least to get a win here to park the bus in Juventus, and I could have seen a change. However, I don't see them really making too many offensive starts in Turin. So I want to say probably a 1-0 win for Juventus in Turin. I don't see Villarreal scoring. Okay, next game. We'll scroll down here. Alright, so these were today's game. Atletico and Manchester United. One of the worst Manchester Uniteds I've ever seen. They looked god awful. And they still managed to get a draw. It shows Atletico's lack of pretty much. This has also been a very bad Atletico team. Because one of the things that you're relied through with Atletico over the years is their defensive prowess. And you don't see that anymore. Plus their lack of attacking output. It doesn't look too good because they are showing more attack. Atletico are attacking. They're relying more on their attackers like João Felix, Griezmann, but they're just not providing that much. Like they're creating opportunities, they're creating chances, but they're just not scoring that much. They hit the bar twice this game. One of them was an unlucky opportunity from Griezmann at the end of the game. The first one was almost an own goal from Lindelof, but they had to win this game, and drawing was a massive blow because they really did need this. Because if they can't beat this Manchester United, and this is the worst that I think Manchester United can play, I don't see them having a result at Old Trafford. I really don't, because I think this was a game that Atletico should have won at least 4-1. With the way that Atletico Varane looked dreadful in the first half, absolutely terrible. Maguire didn't do anything to help him out either. That first goal was pretty much all his fault. And I don't know what's going wrong with Atletico, because they have the players to do that. Lodi should have been pressing up more. Felix did great for the header, but again, they just needed to contribute. Kondogbia did well, but he gave away some passes at the end. Atletico should be very disappointed with this result. Extremely disappointed. They should have, like I said, won at least 4-1, 3-1 minimum. And that's to say that goal should have never happened because they just switched off defensively, as well as Oblak should have saved that because he left all the spaces wide open for Elanga to score, which, good for him, 19 years old, scoring in the Champions League. It's great, and it's obviously a morale boost. You can also see that this is kind of a result of the managerial change in the sense of one of the things that a lot of people criticized about Ole is that he took forever to make changes. For absolute eternities, he would make a substitution in the 80th to 85th minute when the game was pretty much dead for them. So Ragnar making those changes, making those substitutions in the 60th minute, changing the game in the sense for the better, and one of his substitutes scoring, you could have said with Ali, they probably would have lost this game 1-0. So pretty much good on the manager, good substitution change. He made the right decision. Rashford didn't look that great. He did look a bit better than he has this season, but very average, extremely average. So a good substitution to bring in Elanga, and he made an instant impact, as well as the substitutions kind of switched his game. It kind of opened it up. You saw United pressing more, as well as Atletico, so you would like, and it was like the 85th minute, and you didn't know which team was pushing for a win, because you had Griezmann hit the bar, and then Atletico pressing, and then in the other end, like 2 minutes after, you had United pressing, making their shots, and Lingard ending the game with their shot outside the box, which Oblak saves. So I'm gonna say probably a 2-1 or 2-0 win for Manchester United at home, as I don't see them playing any worse than they did today. So if they play just a bit better and Atletico don't show up, which I don't think, it's hard to say because this is probably, I don't have faith in Atletico right now. They couldn't be Manchester United with that team, the way they played today. Surely they can't get a result. This was also a bit of a shock, as I expected Ajax to absolutely walk away with this, because they've looked like one of the favorites for the tournament, surprising to say. They didn't look that good. This was my first game that I watched them, and they've been a highly rated team. They've been saying, watch them, they could be potential champions, and right now I don't think they would be, or City, or Liverpool, which for me are like the two favorites right now. Do I think they're going to get past this victory? I do. They probably will. A 2-2 isn't a bad result away from home. It's just the way that they played, because Benfica, they looked like they had shots to score. They had opportunities to score, which I didn't expect. I expected this to be a complete trounce from Ajax with an occasional consolation goal from Benfica. But Benfica came up to play. They did come out the group first place in Barca, but that Barca team was terrible. So I just expected more from Ajax. Haller got the 2 own goals. I got the own goal unscored. They looked a bit inconsistent, because at times, for like periods of 10 minutes, they looked absolute class, and then for like another 10 minutes, they looked to drop off, and then that's when Benfica would kind of press or have their opportunities. We'll see. Hopefully, maybe if they absolutely come back and just win like 3-0 or 4-0 in Holland, then I can get some more faith in them. But with this result, I kind of felt like it was subpar. It was alright. It was like kind of like get the job done. This is pretty much all they need to do. Because with if they just score 1 or they just win by 1, they're going to be fine in Holland, which I think they will. They will at least score 1. So just to worry about the defense, but I don't know. I also didn't see anything from Benfica that showed. It was kind of more of Ajax switching off, so I don't think they'll do that at home. And I think this was also kind of like a wake-up call for them, in the sense that it won't be that easy, as it was in the group stage, that even a Benfica kind of pushed them and have an opportunity to go through if they surprise them at home as well. So we'll see. Hopefully this wakes them up and they realize that the Champions League is different, and it's only going to get hard from here. Because if Benfica is giving them this trouble, just imagine what Man City, who just beat 5-0 Sporting away from home, and Sporting is kind of on the same level as Benfica. So, no, Benfica's a bit better, but I think if Man City played this game, they would have probably won 3-0 or 4-0. So we'll see. I do expect Ajax to probably win 2-0 at home, and for them to go through. This has been the Champions League roundup. 1:49 a.m. Been late, but I woke up to Russia apparently invading Ukraine. So it's been a bit of a shit show. Anyways, have a good day, and thank you guys for watching.